So someone arrived for hire, but I don't see anybody.
A few repairs and this keep will be a sight to see.
Yeah, so we have this. We have our main quest still. Long Hunt. Travel to the cliffs you saw on the vision. That's not helpful. Explore the endless paths. Yeah, I don't think we're ready for that yet. Cool. Alright, looks like we're going back to Defiance Bay. So we've looked at all this. I guess we'll go up here. We haven't been there yet. We haven't been there yet. We haven't been there. And then these start going to different areas. Oh, here we go. What does this mean? Sure. Hire everybody. These are more like aesthetic type stuff here. Let's focus on functionality. Let's do the... Let's try to get these walls done. Let's go for the south curtain wall.
You're from Gilded Vale? Then you're close to home.
Close can mean a lot of things.
Surely you'll go back when this is all over.
Dunno. Guess that all depends.
Finished.
Mushrooms.
Hail, traveler.
By Wells' eyeless face, you are one short ogre. But why are you green, and how are you getting the ducks to keep flying around you like that? Let me guess, you smoked a lot of white leaf, or did you get your hands on some snowcap? Snowcap. So few people know snowcap, much less ogres. You're a scrivener? Yes, I am a scrivener. I read books, I write books, I once ate a book, but it's only because it looked like sweet pie, or perhaps it was sweet pie baked to look like a book. Interesting. Oh. I'm also a collector of herbs, flowers, plants. I sell them, mostly eat them. Show me what you have for sale. Alright, nothing really to do in here. I'm feeling we'll be back for a quest or something. Alright, let's go check out up here.
Following your lead.
Hey.
I'd
All
wager
right,
that
then.
I'm...
The woman barely glances up from the tomes on the table as you approach. You're welcome to browse the stacks, but mind that you keep your voice down. This is still a temple after all, and Grimda doesn't tolerate disorder. Tell me about yourself. She throws her broad shoulders back. I'm a scrivener and a devotee of Whale. This is my duty to look after our records and resources. This is a temple? It looks like a library. That's because it is. Whale is the god of mysteries and answers, encryption and decryption, concealment and revelation. She raised her hands and rose the shelves. Its guidance comes from understanding of the unknown and protection of hidden knowledge. The Hall of the Revealed Mysteries as built to celebrate that. If you think there's such a place in Direwood, incredible. I'd love a glimpse of those archives. How many secrets must sit upon these shelves? Fascinating. Isn't it? Temples dedicated to Will tend to hold vast stores of knowledge. We use that knowledge to unravel and preserve mysteries of the world. Who's Grimda? Why, she's the High Archivist. She is one of the most accomplished scholars alive today. Nothing goes on here without her knowing about it. Almost nothing, anyway. She scratches behind her ear. You should probably tread lightly around her today.
Hail and well met.
An elderly dwarf surveys the stacks. Her skin looks tough and wrinkled as a walnut. Despite her stature, she manages to look down her nose at you. You're welcome to look around, but let the priests and scriveners continue their search. Wouldn't do to give them any other excuses. What are they looking for? Maybe I can find it. And I could trust you to bring it back, I suppose? You certainly couldn't do worse than this lot, anyway. Thieves made off with an ancient scroll of whale. They intend to blaspheme by selling it, which should remain hidden, a secret of the 100 visions. The guards caught one of them, but they were overzealous in their interrogation. All they could piece together was something about a farmhouse and the road to Dryford. Track the thieves down. I don't care what you do with them, but bring back the scroll. Whale rewards the persistent seeker, and so do I. An ancient scroll. Well, that's a fine prize. I mean, a worthy task. Very well. Alright, so we got a new quest. Alright, so we have different areas. We have First Fires, Brackenbury, Andre's Gift, and Heritage Hall. I guess we'll go into First Fires, take a look around there, and just keep working our way around until we have this whole area searched out. I guess we'll go into the palace. There's not much here.
And a shrine to Margaret as well. Look.
Speak with Chancellor Warren in the hall. The records inside the palace. Alright, so we need to go to Hall of Records. Thank you for coming, Grizz. I've been trying to track you down for some time. This is Marshal Forwin, Earl Barton's military advisor. We serve as a witness for this proceeding. Oh, I didn't even think that this was what this for. Okay. He gestures the man next to him. Well met, Road Warden. Your reputation precedes you, I admit. You have created a bit of stir throughout the nobility with your reclamation of Cadnua. Most are still not sure what to think of you. What's this about? The legitimacy of your claim on Cadnua is in question. Earl Better is issuing a ruling on that matter. Cadnua was abandoned for over a century, and I've claimed the land through strength of my arms. The claim is limited. I trust the Earl to make fair judgment. Your cooperation is duly noted and much appreciated. All will be made clear once Lord Gathbin arrives. Do you have any questions while we wait? What do you know about Gathbin? Well, I've met him but once, but this is ample time to determine the character of Lord Ardlir Gathbin, or lack thereof. He is descended from old Adrian line that predates the War of Defiance. His great-grandfather, Rennet Gathbin, was the Earl of Yenwood during the war, that is, until he was stripped of his lands and driven from the Direwood. Yenwood? When the Direwood was a mere colony of Adir, it was divided into 9 earldoms. When the Adrians were defeated and ultimately driven out, 2 of the earldoms were absorbed and borders were adjusted. The Yenwood was one such earldom. The Grasp is now the largest of the 7th earldoms after it consumed the pre-war earldom of Yenwood. It encompasses notable settlements such as New Haelmar, Garen's Grasp, Gilded Vale, and of course Cadnua. Tell me about Earl Badmar. Earl Badmar comes from the extended line of lords that rose to prominence after the War of Defiance some 150 years ago. The Direwood consists of 7. Alright. That's all I need to know. Do you know which way Earl Badmar has ruled? I'm sorry, I do not. The Earl's decree is sealed. What's about this Road Warden? The one who rules Cadnua on behalf of the Earl of Yenwood is traditionally known as the Road Warden. Your position might not be entirely official yet, but the title is appropriate form of address. I don't have any more questions. Your timing is impeccable. Here comes Lord Gathbin now. An opulently dressed man strides toward the Chancellor, his sandy hair trailing him like a banner caught in a light breeze, boot heels echoing throughout the hall. An elven woman with cropped hair dressed in dark glinting mail shadows his steps before taking position alongside him. She watches you unabashedly, taking your measure. Let's move past this formality as quickly as possible. I have other matters to attend to. It's well known that Cadnua belongs to me by right. And where is this pretender? He who murdered the Raedricks, my own sister and her husband, and now steals my land. Where's this low-born wretch? Waring clears his throat and glances at you. This man here, this is the Lord of Cadnua? I thought he was just another servant, perhaps a valet or porter. Everyone who owns their own keep, raise a hand. Go on, don't be shy. Impeccable. I hope you've enjoyed your time squatting on my land. Provoke me further and I'll hang you from the highest wall of Cadnua when our business is finished. Chancellor, read the Earl's decree. Warren breaks the seal on the scroll and unfurls it. Regarding the matter of Gathbin claim on Cadnua, Earl Badmar finds that the Gathbin claim was never relinquished. By law, Cadnua is the rightful property of Gathbin family. I knew it, Gathbin smirks at you triumphantly. I'm not finished reading, my lord. Gathbin rolls his eyes and motions Chancellor to continue. However, the Earl recognizes Grizz's part in reclaiming Cadnua, a site that has stood abandoned and even, some would say, cursed for over a century. Before Cadnua is returned to the Gathbin family, the Earl has decreed that Lord Gathbin will provide compensation in the form of... Absolutely not. Gathbin folds his arms, a defiant scowl on his face. My lord, Warren raises his eyebrows. The amount is quite reasonable and a requirement for your land to be returned to you, if you just allow me to finish. I will not pay a single copper to this miscreant from my ancestral land. Do you think I'm blind to the Earl's motives, lackey? He thinks he can send a message with this insult. I have a message you can send to that son of a whore. Gathbin raises an open hand as the Chancellor shrieks from him, arms raised in defense. Grab Gathbin's arm. Keep your hands off me, you peasant. Gathbin yanks his arm free of your hand and steps back. The elder woman defiantly draws a pistol from her thick leather belt. Her eyes widen in anticipation. My lords, please, there's no need for violence. Lord Gathbin holds your gaze for several heartbeats, his eyes burning with hatred. I will be coming for what's mine. Count on it. Come. Captain Emery, we're leaving. He sneers defiantly before storming out the hall. The captain lowers her pistol and gives a smirking shrug before following her employer. Dude's a dick. Well, I can't say that Gathman's reaction is entirely unexpected. Though not your fault of your own, I'm afraid you have made a powerful enemy. I've dealt with much worse. I hope you're right. Warren smiles thinly. In any case, Cadnu is now officially belongs to you since Lord Gathman has rejected the Earl's decree. His hands deep, a blue scepter which he has carved entirely out of sapphire. Here, this belongs to the one of the lords of Cadnua. By right, it's yours now. Gerard's Halberstein's added to your inventory. Have this sent to Lord Gathman as a token of friendship. That's a generous offer, and I'll make sure it reaches Lord Gathman. It's a pleasure to finally meet you, my lord, Warren bows. Perhaps we'll speak again under more pleasant circumstances. Farewell, Grizz. Not bad. It's worth a lot. Ooh. I wonder if this is better. Bind Soul? Oh, I wonder if I can...
Get in here, Caleb.
Bind Soul? What weapon is he using? Scepter, 10 to 15. Yeah, I'll give it to him. Why not?
How do you do?
Alright, so this is also the area that we can do the quest for a dare. I'm looking for militia records from the time of the Saints. We're trying to find out what happened to someone. We've had a number of inquiries about such information. I'm afraid we've had to bar access to the public. It seems there's still quite a number of folk in Darwood who bear ill will towards Ritsarians. It would be irresponsible to surrender their names to just anyone. Many settle here as refugees. Perhaps if you were more established in Defiance Bay, things would be different. We've come a long way. I just need to find out about my brother. I don't even know what side he fought for. You must understand, I've heard many such stories. I'm afraid there's nothing I can do. Okay. So, it seems like we'll do more quests in the area and become a little bit more renowned, and then we'll be able to come back.
How's the hand?
Turning purple. I'd have to cut it off.
I warned you not to pet him.
If I'm not supposed to pet him, why is he so soft?
This looks like the place Maywald described.
Oh, here we go.
Praise to the exiled queen. May her crown be restored and her justice prevail. Come to pay your respects to the queen that was.
I was told I'd find the Temple of Wodika here.
And so you did. These savage colonists may have burned it down, but worship of the Oathbinder is alive and well. These stairs lead to the main sanctum.
What stairs?
These stairs, of course. The sanctum was always below ground, adjacent to the catacombs, so it wasn't destroyed by the fires.
Tell me where I'd find an entrance to these catacombs.
There are various entrances throughout Defiance Bay, but I dare say the easiest to reach is in Copper Lane. I haven't been to that part of town in ages, but as I recall, it's somewhere near the southern gate.
Goodbye. Right, it looked like you're almost lost in your footing for a minute. It happens from time to time. You really are a watcher, aren't you? Once in a great many generations, one of my people born with the ability to speak to souls. Usually, such individuals become elders or a lone set of tracks in the snow. She cocks her head. I would have thought my journey would have been easier if I could see what you see. But looking at you, I'm not so sure. Neither am I. Believe it or not, I once would have rejoiced to know that I'd be picked to travel far in search of something great. But even these gifts come with a cost, don't they? Forgive me if I was a little skeptical of your abilities before. I can't say I've met a real watcher before. Oh, don't worry about him. He just likes doing that from time to time. Seems to cheer him up, so I just let him be. Once you've seen it a few times, the shock wears off. Every time he goes into a little strange in the face, I try to see if I can hear anything. Kinda grins. It hasn't worked so far. See if you can get him to tell you what the spirit said. Alright, so we're gonna go back to Copper Lane and dive down to this temple. We're gonna go to the marketplace first, buy another campsite before we go down. So that way we have 2 rests while we're down, because I feel there's gonna be a lot of fighting.
Welcome.
I forgot I have a belt. Let's get him up a little bit more defense. We still have a while before we level. Be right back, guys. 1 second.